This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social, and I am delighted to be able to catch up with Showtime Shawn Porter. Shawn, how are you?
I'm great, man. Good to see you. It's good running into you, man.
Honestly, I was saying to you just, it's brilliant to see you. It's been a while since we caught up.
It's weird. It just got really loud in here.
But no, it's brilliant to catch up with you. What are you up to at the minute? What, are you back in the gym now?
Oh, yeah. Back in the gym, back training, get myself back going. I fight March 9th right there in Las Vegas. Got a good opponent ahead of me. Strong kid, Cuban fighter by the last name Usyk. And looking forward to it, man. My first defense. Yeah.
Just talk to me about that, getting that world title back once again, becoming WBC World Champion. That must have meant the absolute world to you.
It did, man. It honestly did. It meant the world to me. I just had my son in January, and this was only second to having him. Unbelievable moment, unbelievable fight for me and my family and my friends and my team. And ever since it's just been a great ride, great journey, and looking forward to continuing it.
You've had a whirlwind of a time trying to get that world title fight, trying to cement a chance. Yeah. Did you ever think it was never going to happen prior to fighting Danny Garcia?
I think every situation that was put in prior to fighting Danny for the championship, I think I just kind of had understanding that I was doing what needed to be done to get to the point that I got to in fighting Danny. And I think what kind of tipped it over was me getting in the ring after Danny had knocked out Brandon Rios, and pretty much just challenging him and telling him I wanted to fight him. And obviously Keith Thurman relinquished his title, and man, what a blessing that was for myself. And it's been an unbelievable experience, man. It's funny that you said it's a whirlwind to get there. Everything happens, you become champion, and all of a sudden it feels like the snap of a finger that it all happened. So it's just been a blessing.
What have you learned or look back on from the Danny Garcia fight? What have you reflected on? Thought this went well, this didn't go well. What have you been picking up on since?
Honestly, man, I think moving forward, my number one thing is to have the same type of mental discipline as I had with Danny Garcia. Going into the ring, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And I felt like I knew what I had to do in order to make those things happen. And I think just everything that I envisioned, I really made it all come to life. And I think that is really, really pivotal for me in my career moving forward, is that I have that same type of mental edge and mental fortitude moving forward.
And you've obviously got Keith Thurman vacated. He's I can't remember what the term is now, but he's in line when he returns to fight for your WBC belt. Yeah. What is the situation with that? Have you got any idea as to when he may return?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird right now. His next fight is going to be against Josecito Lopez. He still has the WBA title, and I think he's called like the WBA Super Champion or something like that. So it's a weird situation because he has his WBA title. He's defending that title, but somehow he's still the mandatory for the WBC title, even though he vacated the title. It's it's the business of boxing. Best part about it is I'm ready for it.
You've got so many potential names out there for yourself. The likes of Errol Spence, potential unification fight if he comes past Mikey Garcia. Obviously the Keith Thurman fight, amongst others. Potential Khan-Brook or Amir Khan if one of them two wanted it and you wanted it. It's an exciting time to be a welterweight, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very exciting time to be a welterweight. Honestly, it's an exciting time to be a part of boxing. I think right now, a lot of us, Deontay Wilder, even Tyson Fury over there in England, myself here in the United States, Errol Spence, Keith Thurman, the Charlo brothers, Canelo. Right now, we're doing what's required to make sure that the legacy of boxing continues, and not only continues but grows into what it once was back in the day. And I think we're all doing our part, and we're really making it happen. So I'm really humbled to be a part of this whole process.
I just want to touch on Usyk before we move past that and talk about other things. What do you know about him? How come you chose him as your first defense?
He's strong. He's Cuban, which means he has a type of a mental fortitude that you just can't measure. I know that he likes to be an aggressive fighter. He likes to throw bombs, to the head and to the body. He's an excellent body puncher. So a lot to get prepared for in this fight with Ugas.
I mean, I can see your eyes rolled, Ben, when you said he's going to throw bombs. Yeah. You don't sound like you're looking forward to that one.
Not at all. He throws a lot of overhand rights. Anyone who knows boxing knows that the overhand right is a punch you don't typically see coming. Usually that right hand comes a lot straighter, and the body attack as well. So trust me, I'll be ready.
And next year, obviously, we've mentioned Thurman if he decides to make good of his mandatory situation. Yeah. Unification fights. What is your plan moving forwards?
I think that's the plan for us right now is to take care of business with Ugas in March. Look to get back in the ring, depending on how that fight goes in the next couple of months, 3 to 4 months, and hopefully it'll be somebody like Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, Manny Pacquiao. I think that's it for me right now with the list.
So first one I want to touch on is Spence versus Garcia. What did you make of that when it was announced? And how come yourself and Spence didn't seem to get a deal over the line to have a unification bout?
Yeah, I don't even think a deal was even considered with myself and Errol Spence. When I won my title, immediately WBC is figuring out who's going to be my mandatory. Whether or not he knew that when he got in the ring, it is what it is. So he got in the ring, and it was a fun moment. Well, honestly, it was a moment where I thought that would be the next fight. That's not the game plan right now. But he's got Mikey Garcia, and the way Mikey's talking, I hope he's not taking the fight lightly. I hope he's not underestimating Mikey Garcia. But I think it's going to be a great fight. I think it's going to be one of the greatest fights next year. And I can't pick a winner.
See, it's interesting you say that because it seems to be a lot of people are thinking because Mikey's jumping up 2 weight divisions, trying to add on 12 pounds, the size difference is naturally just going to be too much for him. Do you think that will be the key difference on the night?
Yeah, no, I don't. I fought against guys. I'm 5'7". Majority of the guys I fought my entire life have been 3+ inches taller than me. They've been, obviously we've been close to the same weight, but it's just the dimensions are way different. So I'm saying all that to say that I understand fully that size does not always matter when you get into the boxing ring. So I think that Mikey is going to do things. He's very, very experienced and very, very mentally mature in the ring. So if he thinks that the size is going to be a disadvantage, he's going to look at why the size is going to be a disadvantage, and he's going to take care of what needs to be taken care of so that doesn't become relevant in the ring when they fight. I just think it's going to be a great fight, man. I can't talk any less. I can't. There's not enough you can say about the fight.
And Adrian Broner and Manny Pacquiao, another great fight. What were your thoughts when that one was announced?
At first I was surprised, but I do understand what's going on there. You got a situation where Manny Pacquiao is still trying to prove he is who he is, and you got a guy in Adrian Broner who's still trying to get over some things and climb that fence and get over the top. So it's gonna be a good fight.
Who would you lean towards?
I lean towards Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, and obviously we've got Floyd Mayweather returning to fight a Japanese kickboxer off the top of my head. Yeah, but I'm not sure when that bout is.
Did you see the latest? Because, for me, the latest was he announced the fight, and then the latest after that was he said the fight was off. So that's the latest for me.
Since then, he's come back out that he's apparently agreed to fight now, and he's back on.
Okay.
So what are your thoughts on Floyd making a comeback again?
I'm confused. I'm confused. He is who he is, man. He's one of the greatest fighters of our generation, easily of our generation. He's the greatest fighter, but he's one of the greatest fighters of all time. I think really it's going to be up to him to lead this game alone, and until he does, he's going to always be one of the greatest, man. No matter who he gets in the ring with. Obviously, he's picking his opponents. He's picked a guy who I don't think can match him hand for hand, and fist combat. I don't know what else this fight entails.
Apparently, they might be able to have leg kicks involved.
I'm confused. I'll go back to that. I'm confused.
And there's also the rumours that after Pacquiao Broner, if Pacquiao is successful, he's going to try and make the Floyd Mayweather rematch. Is that a fight which interests you still?
I don't know. After the fight happened, I was doing two things. I was disappointed at the way the fight turned out in general, but I was really looking at Floyd Mayweather with a lot of respect and admiration for what he did that night and what he has continued to do over the years. He's really dissected all of his opponents, taking away everything that they do good, great, excellent, wonderful, and he's really just really minimized everybody in the ring. Before they get in the ring, they're like this, and then when they get in the ring with him, they're like that, So he's just done a tremendous job at being a professional boxer.
And obviously the big one in Britain, which is looking to be made in March, Amir Khan and Khan-Brook, something that's been talked about for a few years. A former opponent of yours, Khan-Brook. Is that a fight, which way do you see that going if it's eventually made?
Well, I mean, it is what it is. You say the same things about Amir Khan. He's the best in the ring until he gets touched. His speed is unbelievable. He has a high punch output, and not only that, like the combinations that he throws. I mean, he hits guys, and you're like wow. But at the same time, he's got that monkey on his back where he takes a punch or two, and it's the tide starts to change really really quick. So however, you got Khan-Brook, and you don't know what Khan-Brook's got going on right now. He's has he had a fight since he fought Errol Spence?
He fought at light middleweight, so he's moved up now.
He moved up for the fight, and then he's talking about coming back down to 47. So, they're both those guys are, especially Khan-Brook right now, is in somewhat of a transitional period, And so I think that it will be a good fight. It's definitely good on paper, and it's going to be entertaining. I look forward to it, I guess.
Did you manage to see Amir Khan versus Samuel Vargas?
No, I think we fought the same night.
Okay.
So I didn't see that one. I just heard about it,
Since obviously your fight with Khan-Brook, it's been a long few years for you, and it was a split decision victory, which people argued you was wrongly done with, and you should have been victorious. What have you reflected on since? Because you're a world champion again now. Do you look back and just think, what, it may not have meant to be, but I'm in a great place. I've got the WBC World title, and I don't need it.
Yeah, not necessarily that I don't need it, but I do think that, when I look back on that fight and where I'm at now, I feel like I'm more ready to be a champion now. And I think that, I did everything to deserve this WBC Championship. And I think now I'm more ready than I was in 2014 to defend this WBC title.
Something else which I picked up on when everybody brought it up at the WBC convention. You fought Alexander Usyk as an amateur. Talk to me about that. I had no idea about that.
It was a great fight, man. I do remember that. It was a duel when the Ukraine came over to the States to duel us. Believe it or not, I was fighting 165 pounds. Usyk was probably about 6 foot at the time, and was an excellent fight. Keith Thurman fought 152 pounds, and he fought just before me. Everybody that fought before Keith lost. Keith won, I won, and then everybody after us lost, So it was a night where, you're looking at two guys and myself and Keith Thurman, two of the best in the United States to do it as amateurs. And we've been fortunate enough to continue on as professionals. And I got an opportunity to see Usyk and just told him how proud I am of him to continue doing what he's doing. He was one of the best. We fought in 2007. And he's still one of the best to do it now. So congratulations to him.
How does that work out? That there's such a massive difference now in terms of your weight.
Everybody says when you turn pro, you usually move up a weight class. You get older and you move up. You got older and you move down. So I don't know. I just been fortunate enough and blessed enough to do the right things in life.
Usyk obviously defeating Tony Bellew a few weeks ago. Did you watch that? Have you seen anything of it?
I was trying to take a look at it and wasn't able to get around to it, but it went the way I expected it to go. I knew that Usyk was on another level than Bellew, and I knew it was only going to be a matter of time before we put him out.
Usyk's been mentioned as being one of the greatest cruiserweights now ever, and he's been put up there with Evander Holyfield. Do you put him in that rank, and how would you see that fight? I know obviously it wouldn't happen, but if there's both in their prime, how would you see that one going?
I mean, it's so hard, man. Like, that's Evander Holyfield. Ask him, and I'm sure he'd say the same thing that I'm about to say. It's some certain fighters we just don't want to be mentioned in the same breath with, And for me, Evander was one of the best to ever do it in any weight class, pound for pound. And I don't know, man. I'd rather not disrespect Usyk in saying that he's nothing compared to Evander, but I mean, I just hold Evander in such a high regard that it's hard for me to, look at anybody in this, time period and imagine them getting in the ring with him. I just think that, he washes all of us up. I'm going to include myself. Yeah.
And Usyk looking to move up to heavyweight. How do you think he'd fare if he can naturally adjust to the weight against the current top level fighters such as Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, and Anthony Joshua?
Yeah, he was in the Olympic Games at heavyweight, so he can do it. It's just he did the right thing. A lot like me moving down to 47, he did the right things for his career right now. And I think when he makes that move, he's gonna be more than ready to make that move. He's got all the speed, all the quickness, all the skills, all the experience to contend with those guys. And I think even on top of that, he's got a lot of room to improve moving up to heavyweight. He'll be coming in. He'll be a lot like Evander, actually, one of the smaller heavyweights who did unbelievable things at heavyweight. So.
And finally, obviously, I haven't managed to ask you yet, the main event for Saturday night.
Right?
Exactly.
Let's
Imagine if I'd have forgot about that.
Yeah.
Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. What are your thoughts on the bout?
I think this is going to be a good one. I think that Tyson's going to make it really, really hard for Deontay to hit him. I can see Tyson Fury trying to play around a little bit, stick his tongue out, all those little antics to get a guy out of his game and, make it evident that you can't touch me. But Deontay's special. He's got a power and an energy that is unmatched right now in the heavyweight division. 39 knockouts out of 40 fights is unbelievable. And I just think it's going to be a matter of time before he touches Tyson Fury and puts him out.
Before the fight, everybody's saying it's either going to be Fury on points or Wilder knockout. Are they the only two outcomes that you see?
Yeah, that's how it's going to go. It's going to be Fury on points and style, or it's going to be Deontay Wilder knockout.
And how much credit does Tyson deserve for coming back, losing 10 stone to get ready for this fight and taking it only his third comeback fight after his battle with mental health issues, amongst other things that he's had going on?
Yeah, you know what? We can't overlook anything. No matter what it is that you're going through, no matter why you took some time off, we can't overlook that. And we're seeing now more than ever how serious the mental illnesses are now and just anyone's daily life. Forget a professional athlete, boxer even, just anyone's daily life. So we definitely have to tip our hat to Tyson for overcoming some of the obstacles that he's overcome, taking this fight just 3 fights back, two fights back, this being his third. But at the same time, he's a professional boxer, man. He's been doing this his entire life, so you can't expect any less from this guy, man. He's gonna put on the show for sure.
And Shawn, you're out here in LA. I know you're getting ready for your own fight, but you're going to be enjoying the lifestyle a little bit for these next few days, or?
It's funny. I think you guys in England, you expect to come over here, enjoy a certain lifestyle. Me, I live the same lifestyle day in and day out. I can pull them out right now, man. I'll pull them out for you right now.
Let's see.
Just so you know, I'm serious when I say that this is all I do. I play dominoes. I don't go to nightclubs. I don't go to strip clubs. I play cards. For like 4 nights consecutively, my friends and I played Monopoly. Last night I finally won, so it's a big deal, man. But that's how I live my life. Simple, fun, and it's what I call clean fun. It's things that are going to make you laugh, fill up your heart, but you're not going to die in the process.
Well, Shawn, I hope I'm invited to your next Monopoly City.
Let's do it. Well,
Shawn, as always, I know you've got people waiting. You've just got here and you want to shoot off, have a bit of a chat downtime. So thank you for speaking to Boxing Social.
You got it, man. Great to see you.
You too.